Buying an awesome car on a budget is like trying to wrestle a lion while wearing flip-flops. You want power, style, and bragging rights. But you don't want to sell your soul or your kidney. The good news? There are some absolute beasts out there that won't make you live off ramen for the next decade. They say you can't put a price on passion, but maybe you can. $10,000 to be exact, not a penny more. Here are 5 lethal cars you can get for that kind of money. Chevrolet Corvette C4. Before COVID hit, the Corvette C5 was the finest sports car you could buy under 10 grand. It came with a modern, powerful, and reliable engine in the form of the LS1. It also looks very sharp and eye-catching, even if it is more than 20 years old. However, its owners like to think that they've got what's essentially an American Ferrari. It's therefore tough to find one for less than 20 Gs, even if you're looking for the base model. Your best bet is to find one in an auction such as Doug DeMoro's Cars and Bids. So we'll have to settle for its much rawer predecessor, the Corvette C4 or the 80s Corvette. As the name suggests, it was the nameplate's explosive entry into a new era. Arguably the greatest wedge car to come out of the US, it was launched right before the Scarface movie, which is fitting since it is the perfect vehicle to park outside a Miami nightclub, idling under neon lights with synth music playing in the background. Of course, it is recommended to buy one made post 1992, as it will have the more powerful LT1 engine, a traction control system, and a quieter cabin. To sum it up, the C5 should be your priority, but if it's too pricey, you can opt for its slightly Neanderthal dad, the C4. But maybe you're looking for something that doesn't just turn heads, but rather it commands respect. Mercedes-Benz CL55 AMG. In comes the mighty, scratch that, almighty Mercedes CL55 AMG. It's more of a lifestyle than a car. The CL Class is the coupe version of Mercedes' flagship S-Class limousine, meaning that it has 2 fewer doors but twice the ego. This particular model is the C215, produced from 2000 to 2006. Opt for the 2003 model year and onwards, and you'll get one with the supercharged M113 engine. Not only is it one of the greatest gasoline engines ever produced by Mercedes, it also takes the power output up to 493 horsepower and 516 pound-feet. This nuke under the hood will ensure that you reach from 0 to 60 miles per hour in less than 5 seconds, if your rear wheels don't turn into mush. Also, it is stunning to look at, and it screams old money. Not surprising since it cost $120,000 when new. But that's not the only thing that screams as the exhaust note sounds leak a symphony of thunder and gunfire. Hence, this car is like a hitman dressed in an Armani suit. Now keep in mind that this is a high-end 20-plus-year-old Merc, which means that it can only be owned by 3 types of people. Retired CEOs with a gold watch and a no-nonsense attitude, absolute maniacs on Craigslist with a $10,000 budget and a dream, or an Eastern European recording artist. Since you clicked on this video, you probably belong to the middle category, and you haven't clicked on the subscribe button yet, which you should. Unless you've got $10,000 in disposable income, you must be very careful while buying this over-engineered German ICBM. While the engine is excellent, there are a few known faults such as the active body control suspension and some electronic problems. Your best bet is to be smart with your pick when it comes to things like mileage, service history, and a clean title. European luxury is nice and all, but sometimes you just want something loud, bold, and unapologetically American. Ford Mustang GT, 5th generation. No matter what happens, the Ford Mustang will always be the poster child of the muscle car genre. And if you're on a tight budget, there are quite a few options in the market. You could opt for a Fox body or an SN95, but they'll feel bland and underpowered, not to mention beat up. Your best bet is their successor, the 5th-gen Mustang, also known as the S197. Some call it the Mustang's comeback, but it was more of a resurrection since its looks are based on its legendary forefathers, the fastbacks of the 60s. The fastback silhouette is accompanied by chiseled lines, squared shoulders, tri-bar taillights, and a bold grille up front. Opting for the Mustang GT gets you a 4.6-litre V8 engine, which is good for 300 horses, or should I say 300 ponies, and 320 torques. 0 to 60 miles per hour takes 5 seconds. Stellar, even today. Apart from issues such as bad oil pumps, faulty timing chains, and spark plug problems, all due to high mileage, these cars are very reliable. They're also very mod-friendly. Note that once you start looking through the market, you'll realize that the facelifted Mustang from 2010 onwards is a much more attractive option. It looks a lot cleaner, is more aerodynamic, and the cabin is more upscale. However, these upgrades come at a price, more than double or triple of what you'll be paying for an S197-i. Also, the early models come with a grittier feel, which is what you want with a muscle car. Worried about reliability and insurance costs? Maybe opt for the basic 4-litre V6 engine. It's a good car, but the GT is miles ahead. Once again, go for low miles, stock options. Anything that hasn't been put through hell, fire, and brimstone. Or maybe you want the Porsche experience without the 6-figure price tag. Porsche Boxster 986. Everyone wants to own a Porsche, but a few actually manage to do so. Forget the 911, that's for lottery winners. Forget the Cayenne, that's for yoga moms. We're talking about the Gateway Door G, the first-gen Boxster, or 986. Originally, this section was supposed to be about the Porsche 944, a wedge-shaped darling of the 80s with pop-up lights and everything else. However, under 10 grand it would come with more engine warning lights than a Christmas tree, making the Boxster the safer option. It's essentially a baby 911. It looks like a glorified VW Beetle, is mid-engined, and has a straight 6 engine. Look through the market and you'll find the 986 with a choice of 3 possible engines. Long story short, the 2.7-litre engine is the one to go for. You get an acceleration time of around 6.5 seconds, and while issues such as IMS failures are inevitable, opting for the 2002 through 4 model years should get you the most reliability. The cabin is comfortable and as luxurious as you'd expect from an entry-level Porsche from the 90s. And yes, it is a proper 2-seat roadster, not a coupe pretending to be fun. In fact, it doesn't pretend to be anything. It's not a 911 tribute act, not a muscle car in disguise, and not a status symbol for lease-lifers. It's just a cute little sports car. If you're not down with the temperamental exotics mentioned earlier, then my final recommendation is the fair lady herself, Nissan 370Z. If the other cars on this list are supermodels who've lived fast and hard, this is that sweet girl next door you've always overlooked. Unlike the other cars mentioned on this list, it has Japanese reliability and low maintenance costs. Under the hood is a 3.7-litre V6 that makes an all-natural 332 horsepower that can propel it from 0 to 60 in around 4.5 seconds. Looks-wise, it's not very subtle thanks to its W-bulging fenders, aggressive front fascia, and signature boomerang taillights. You'd expect such a car to be fun to drive, and it is. Rear-wheel drive, limited slip differential, and a well-tuned suspension mean that it has elite handling. For your budget, your best bet is to go for an earlier model with the lowest miles, certainly earlier than the updated model years of 2013 and onwards. As mentioned, there's not a lot that can go wrong with this car, apart from some rarities like CSC failures and oil gallery gasket leakages. If you've ever wanted to experience how it feels like to own a race car, this is the vehicle for you. Lots of power, only 2 seats, negligible storage space, and guzzles gas like it's happy hour. The moment you park this thing, every teenager with a modded Civic will want a piece of you. And yeah, good luck staying off the police radar. Conclusion. So there you have it. We've covered raw and unapologetic American classics, refined German masterpieces, and Japanese legends of reliability. Each one offers its own slice of adrenaline-soaked joy. Sure, Owning one means embracing quirks and maintenance surprises. But driving any of these isn't just about getting somewhere. It's about making an entrance and leaving your mark. It's about feeling alive. Like and subscribe for more automotive wisdom.